Okay, it's Wednesday, it's the 17th of October, it's 1,000 Guineas Day at Caulfield. However, we're looking right now at the field and ratings for the Caulfield Cup, which is on Saturday. Now it's interesting, I'm going to tell you this, boxing great and world champion Muhammad Ali once said, "The fight is won or lost far away from witnesses, behind the lines, in the gym and out there on the road, long before I dance under those lights." Now, how do we reference this? If you have a look at this, you'll find that we've got the field rated from odds of $4.20 down to $999 to 1. This is the basic look. This is the computer generated ratings for win form, and it takes into account the best run at the nearest distance, etc, etc, etc. And this is long before I start to look and see the form behind the rating. So I'm going to use the program, and I've got Niwat on top. I'll just give you a brief look at each of these horses. Niwat, now there's the qualifying run, that was in April this year in the BMW, beaten 2.8 lengths, and you can see over here was blocked for a run. The drawback I have with Niwat is that it's an 8-year-old, even though it has had 1, 2, 3 runs from a spell and is showing some signs of improvement. The next horse I've looked at is Mudre. It's a 7-year-old. It's had 5 starts at this track for a win and a third. It's rated on a 2,000 metre race over here. That's a 69.7 for win form. Only 40.2 on the 2,600 metre race, which is a lot closer. But if you have a look at this one, the 64.9, you think, well, maybe that's the one you should look at. But you've also got to look at the fact that it was 546 days, nearly 2 years since the horse last ran. And you can see it performed quite well. That creates a severe negative in my view. Mary Kane is first up, but the horse is trained to run well first up, and first up in March this year ran 70.5. That's a very high rating. Once again, is now an 8-year-old horse, so I do have to have queries. Obviously set for the race, drawn out in barrier 19. We're looking at December draw, another 7-year-old. 3 starts at Caulfield, a win and a third, 8 wins from 26. The rating is based around a 2,000 metre run. This race last year was beaten 25 lengths in this race. What went wrong with him? Probably the horse can't run 2,400 metres. Okay, 1 attempt at the distance and did no good. Fictional account, a 8-year-old mare, fair dinkum. Okay. Second beaten the neck at Moonee Valley, not a huge class race, and then a 10th of 12 runners beaten 9 lengths at Randwick in October. Okay, Gatewood, 61.4. Now that was on last Saturday's run behind Shawadi. Struck interference, probably some excuses for it, but if you have a look here, 4 wins from 9 starts altogether, and at a started at this distance twice for a third, and was only beaten 2 lengths on that occasion. Do you start to get the idea of what I'm talking about? We have a whole lot of work to do with these horses. We've got 22 horses entered, of which 18 are going to start, and I can tell you something very interesting. I reckon I lose 80% of all Caulfield Cups simply because of the way they're run. That's the opposite in the Melbourne Cup. I've won 90% of all Melbourne Cups from the time I started punting back in the late 60s. And as I said, it's exactly the opposite. Over the 3,200 metres you can eliminate a lot of horses. Whereas in the Caulfield Cup there are all sorts of horses, and particularly this year, coming from overseas, and a lot of aged horses. And down there somewhere there will be some improving horses. I urge you to watch the market. I'll be doing a lot of work on it, and those ratings and so on will be available by the time we put the Spring Carnival pack out on Saturday. Good luck.